Hey everyone, Gil Gross here. This is a post-match thoughts video, the last one of Roland Garros because it's on the final. Rafael Nadal versus Dominic Thiem, and it is Nadal coming through winning his 12th French Open title, one of the most amazing, astonishing, and I'll use one of Nadal's favorite words, unbelievable accomplishments in all of sports, not just all of tennis. Congratulations to Rafa. He beat Thiem in 4 sets. It was 6-3, 5-7, 6-1, 6-1. In this video, I'm going to get into kind of chronologically what happened in this match because I don't feel like it was the same throughout. I feel like this match evolved throughout. And then tomorrow on Monday Match Analysis, I'll get a little bit more into the nitty-gritty with the tactics here. But for this one, I want to talk a little bit more big picture in a sense and not go too much into the X's and O's, which I'll do tomorrow. So let's address the fatigue factor right off the bat, right off the top, because I know that's going to be what a lot of people are going to be talking about. I said before the match, I'll let you know if I see any fatigue. I'm not just going to go in assuming that Thiem's going to be tired because, hey, maybe he won't be tired. And I got to tell you, in the first set and the second set especially, Thiem's movement looked explosive. He was quick around the court. He was willing to play long rallies. He was scrambling out there, extending points with his defense. His legs looked like they were firing on the tennis court, especially early on in the first set. So right away, I don't think there was any fatigue, and I think Thiem, who's fit as a fiddle, was able to handle this schedule where he played, a lot of four-setters early in the tournament and then having to play a bit on Friday and a bit on Saturday instead of playing a lot on Friday and getting the day off. He didn't look tired to me, especially early. Then you can start to make an argument, at least starting in the third set, maybe that he lost his focus, maybe that he was mentally tired, but still, he played not awful in the third set, despite losing 6-1. Nadal was just about unplayable in that third set. Then, in the fourth set, he didn't play very well. So, the argument for fatigue being a factor is that Thiem got worse and worse as the match went on. The argument against that is, well, he wasn't tired early and Nadal was still getting the better of play, so maybe Thiem just got a little bit demoralized mentally at that point, which is honestly a perfectly valid argument. So the fatigue thing, I'm not entirely convinced that it played a big role. That's my bottom line on it. Not sure how the majority of you guys are going to feel on that. Let's go chronological. Start in the first set. The level was astronomical. Both of these players are unbelievable with their aggressive, heavy ball striking from the back, which they do so consistently, and they kind of play into each other's hands that way. Not only that, but on clay especially, they're both excellent defenders. Thiem's defense was stunning early on. He was losing the court position to Nadal. Nadal was staying very tight on the baseline. Thiem was way back, but still, Thiem can do damage from back there. He can defend from back there. All in all, the quality was amazing. Thiem was knocking the cover off the ball, and he made single-digit unforced errors in the first set. Absolutely wailing the ball. Yet, Nadal won 6-3. He won the first set 6-3. So, the difference here, I think, was Nadal's superior variety and weapons arsenal, his superior hands and touch. And I want to give 2 specific examples. Essentially, I feel like it was really even from the back, really even from the baseline. And I feel like Nadal got that extra little edge with his variety. At 15-30, Thiem tries a drop shot. Thiem is serving at 3-4, 15-30. Thiem drop shots. Nadal comes in and hits a tremendous redrop for a winner. It is so difficult to be on the dead run and to hit a drop shot, but Nadal is really good at that redrop. And that gave him double break point, and he converted. Then on his service game trying to close out the set, it was 15-all. And that's a really big point. Doesn't want to get in a 15-30 hole. He is serving on the ad side, and he serve volleys, executes it perfectly, wins the point 30-15, and that helps him close it out. These are the kind of things that Thiem isn't really there yet. He can do it, but he doesn't do it under pressure with any kind of regularity. So I thought that was the difference in the first set. In the second set, I think that both players got a little bit tired in the legs with the defending. Because the level was so high in the first set, they got a little tired. They started serving a little bit better and returning worse. And I had to make a joke on Twitter. I called them both serve bots, these guys. They're serve bots. But, and that's extreme sarcasm, but really not a lot of points were being won on the return game until 6-5, when Thiem hit some very nice returns, especially on the ad side, backhand down the line to get it to Nadal's backhand. But that was the exception to the rule. For the most part, the second set was a well-played set by both, and Thiem, in the very end, created the first opening and converted. So credit to Thiem, very well-played second set. Nadal played pretty well in addition as well, right? They both played pretty well. And this one just went Dominic Thiem's way. Then, in the third set, that's where you have a problem if you're from Dominic Thiem's perspective, because the first game of the third set was an absolutely atrocious game by Thiem. He was broken at love. He must have made maybe 3 errors and a double fault, whatever it was. Rafa didn't have to do much of anything. Thiem handed him the game. And then Nadal, fresh off of losing the first set he had ever lost to Dominic Thiem at Roland Garros. It had been 11 sets. He was 11-0. Thiem just won the first set. He comes out, breaks him at love, has the mentality, the killer instinct to realize that this was his moment. And he raised his level at the beginning of the third set because he just had that mentality. He really recognized that this was a big moment where he could step on the jugular, basically, and he could really gain the upper hand in this match. He wins 14 out of the first 15, or maybe it was 13 out of the first 14, one or the other. He wins almost up to 4-love every single point, except one. Up to 4-love to start the third set. His level is untouchable at this stage in the match. And Thiem loses that set 6-1. And then he has some opportunities in the beginning of the fourth set, does Dominic Thiem, doesn't convert. That's where the level starts to go down. He starts to overplay, overhit, too many errors, going for too much, and sorry about that. Let's wait for that to end. And then after he reaches that point, that's kind of been the traditional, when Thiem is at his worst, there's just too many errors because he's going for too much and he's overhitting and the shot selection isn't good. That's what ended up happening in the fourth set, and Nadal had a bit of an easier time winning that last set 6-1. And that's how I saw the 4 sets of tennis. Nadal was winning both cross-court rallies. He was getting the better of play. Thought Thiem made a tactical mistake on the ad court, returning from too close in. I thought he should have gave up some ground there. Meanwhile, I think Nadal was playing the right tactics on Thiem's serve. Thiem got a little bit predictable on his serve location, serving it mostly to Nadal's backhand, which I thought was a curious tactic. I'm just about to wrap up here. And those are all things that I want to get into tomorrow for Monday Match Analysis. I'll have some tactical breakdown for you, and then I will also have Q&A. So look out for that YouTube post. It'll go up as soon as I'm done uploading this video. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for following along throughout this tournament. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.